Guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. This is my Tesla Model Y long range. I've had this about 45 days. I've done several videos on this. One of the main accessories or modifications that I wanted to do to this, even before I even got the car, was doing a paint protection film installation on this so that the paint is protected. Now it's really critical, especially in the front, where the front bumper is really exposed. It's just all painted. There's really no grill at all. So when you're driving, if you're doing a lot of highway driving, a lot of rock chips, bugs, just a lot of sand, dirt, debris is going to really mark up that front bumper. So having something on the front bumper and other parts of the car is going to be helpful to keep the paint looking new, keeping it looking nice, especially with black. Black's going to show all those imperfections. Black's a lot harder to keep clean, and you really see those scratches and swirls in the paint. So one thing I did probably 4 or 5 months before I even got the car, I went on, actually I found these kits on eBay. They're a PPF kit that's pre-cut for the exact car and the panels that you wanted on. And I bought the kit. The first kit I bought was the doors, all 4 doors, and then the whole front. So the bumper, the hood, the fenders, the headlights, the fog lights, all are protected in the front. So I bought that kit, and I got that installed. And initially when I did the installation on the hood, I thought that I'd really messed it up. I was just going to have to tear it off and replace it. But I let it set for a couple weeks. You know, it's been a hot summer, and so the heat kind of like got rid of all of like the bubbles. There was kind of a haze underneath the film. I didn't know if that was going to go away, and it eventually did. After two weeks or so, everything kind of like went away. There's a couple of imperfections in the hood, and I'll show you that. But the rest of the car is the doors. Like the doors, I have the kit on the doors, all 4 doors, and then I actually just did the rear quarter panels as well. So almost the whole side and the whole front is protected on this car, and that was something that I wanted to do because I wanted to do it myself, because taking it to a shop, I was getting quotes for over $3,000 for just the front, and I was like, really, are you serious? And I've talked about this before, but it's the Tesla tax. When you mention you have a Tesla, shops are charging you a lot more. And it almost seems like every Tesla Model Y and 3 is getting this done. So, you know, shops are they just know they can charge a lot for the Teslas because the owners know that they need that done. So, you know what, to avoid that surcharge in pricing, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. How hard can it be? So I watched a few videos, saw a few tutorials. The hood was the first part I did, and then we did the fenders, the lights, and then the bumper. The front bumper was probably the hardest part. But it turned out, if you have a helper, if you got a heat gun, you know, just kind of getting it into place, squeegeeing it down, it's really not that bad. It really is doable by yourself. So if you're the type that you kind of like getting your hands, working with your hands, doing things like projects like these, I definitely recommend doing it. You're going to save a lot. And for the price of just doing the front at a shop, I got the whole front done, and I have all the doors and the rear quarter panels all done. So I've got a lot more protection for less price. Yeah, it's not perfect, and I'll kind of show you as we go through, kind of a tour of the car. But I'm glad that it's on there. Now the car is protected, and I don't have to worry about all those, driving on the freeway and getting rock chips on it. All right, starting here at the front, I want to just kind of give you an overview. The car is relatively clean. There's a couple spots you can see, like where a piece of like maybe dust or some kind of debris got underneath the film. There's maybe just 1 or 2 of those on the front hood. The bumper, well, I've got it on the headlights, so I have it on the hood, the bumper, headlights, front fenders. There's actually a spot right here. I think it's a defect in the paint. It's like a textured part. I'm trying to see if I can get you a good shot of this here. You can see there's like a textured part. It feels like there's an imperfection in the paint, and so it's kind of rough there, and therefore the film is not all the way seated down. And same thing in a couple other areas. It just feels like there's some imperfections in the paint that you can't really notice until now. There's just this film over it that has a couple of these imperfections. So there's a couple spots like that throughout it. I also have it on the doors. So not only do I have the whole front done, but I also have all 4 doors. All 4 doors are done. And then after I did the doors, I actually ordered a kit. This just the A-pillar kit. So it's a piece all the way from here to the top of the windshield here. So now the whole front is protected. The mirrors are not. The kit that I bought didn't have the mirror pieces included, so I need to find those, because those mirrors are going to take some beating as you're driving on the highway, and I'll need to protect those. There's just not a kit that's made for those. So when I originally thought that I'd kind of ruined the front hood, you know, is the front hood perfect? No, it's not perfect, but it actually turned out pretty good after it just sat for 2, 3, 4. After a week or so or more, it really turned out pretty good. And same with the doors here. The doors actually turned out pretty good. And then I also have done, since I did the doors, actually about 3 days ago, I did these rear quarter panels here. So this section here, so around the tail light down to the bumper line, that's all one piece, and I did those as well. I'm looking at doing also a rear bumper piece, and rear hatch. I can't find one for like the rear top of the hatch, and so I don't know if I'm going to do the rear. I don't think is going to be susceptible to, you know, rock chips and dings and scratches as much as the front and the sides are. So I'm glad I got the front all taken care of. There's kind of some bubbles specifically on the doors here, like kind of down on the bottom. There was some bubbling, and there's a couple really small ones. But if there's larger bubbles, you can actually just get a little pin or some kind of a needle. I tried using a syringe, even just a little sewing needle or a pin or a safety pin. Just the point of that, if you just pop the needle or just pop the bubble with that, and then you just push out the air, that actually works really well. So if there's any bubbles left over after I'd say a week or so, then you can just pop those with the needle, and it'll turn out pretty good. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. I mean, I know it's not perfect. Like for example, right here, it's not tucking under this trim as cleanly as I'd like, so it's kind of, you can tell right there that it's kind of lifted up a little bit. With a black car, it's just so hard to keep this thing clean anyways that it's never 100% clean. You clean it the next day. So here's the new piece that I just installed. There is a couple little bubbles under this, but that's going to be there for about a week or so. Then I can just pop those. But now let's talk about the cost. I'm in my Tesla Model Y here. I'm in the cab, and I'm just going to the browser, and I want to show you these. I got all my pieces on eBay, and I want to show you the ones that I got here, and we'll kind of just go through So I got these ones here. So the front kit was around $290. The door panels were about $230. There's several ones on here, and then this is the rear kit that I'm looking at. About $170 for just the rear license plate area and then the rear bumper. So I'm looking at that one, but the one I just installed in the back here. So I also installed this one here. Let's go to our sketch pad here. We got it all sketched out here. All right, so all the 4 pieces, $688. And then I figure about another $30 to $40 for supplies. I had to get some spray bottles. You had to get some soap, some distilled water, some rubbing alcohol, some microfiber towels, things like that. So you need a few supplies. Depending on what you have, you can just use a regular squirt bottle to spray it. So you may not need to pay too much. So around $700 it cost me for the full. It's not full. It's pretty close to full. I'd say it's probably at this point it's probably 85% protected. So we got the full front, fenders, doors, rear quarter panel, the whole roof. You don't need to do the whole roof. You don't need to do anything on the roof because it's all glass. The windshield actually meets this top glass part, so it's all glass from the windshield back. So I really just need to find the mirror kit, and then I'm debating whether I'm going to do the rear bumper. But overall, it's a pretty good deal for PPF protection. It did take me some time. I probably spent 5 hours or so installing all of it. I got a quote for close to $2,500 for all of those pieces. I think close to $2,000 just for the whole front piece from some shops. So I just after getting a few quotes and estimates, I just figured I was going to do it all myself. So overall, I'm very happy. I'm happy with how it turned out. I mean, it's not perfect. There are a few spots here and there that there's some imperfections. But I'm glad that I probably saved over $1,500 doing this myself versus taking it to a shop to get all this done. And if I'd have taken it somewhere, I probably just would have gotten the front done to keep the cost down as low as possible. So now, not only do I have the front done, these pillars, but also the whole side I have done as well. And it turned out good. The car, with the car being black, especially with black. Black just shows every imperfection, every little scratch and ding and rock chip. So I just want to make sure that the car is protected as best as it can be, and I think it is at this point. And so I'll kind of keep you guys updated with how it wears, if there's any issues, problems, if it starts peeling up at all. I don't foresee any, but I've also just been hand washing it only, because I didn't want to, until it's fully cured, I didn't want to take it to like a high pressure car wash and have like, you know, high pressure water getting underneath the seams, peeling it up, and, you know, kind of ruining it in that regard. So I probably will keep hand washing it until it gets real cold and like freezing weather, and then we'll take it to the local car washes. But I'm also considering doing the ceramic coat. If you guys know any good ceramic coating for over the top of a PPF, I'd really be interested to hear that, because I hear you can do that, a ceramic coat over the PPF to really protect the PPF, so that stays nice and good. And then any paint that's not protected, ceramic coating that as well. So that's probably still to come on this project as well. Anyways, guys, I'll leave links to these pieces that I bought down below, and hope you guys found this helpful, informative. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.